Welcome to Overnight Wisdom, a show where we sit with change makers, artists, business leaders, and thinkers. Each conversation is an invitation to slow down, to go deeper, and unearth the quiet insights that shape who we are. If you're seeking honest reflections, unexpected wisdom, and a deeper understanding of what it takes to not merely survive, but to thrive, you're in the right place. Today, we're thrilled to have a special guest whose comedic brilliance has taken the digital world by storm. Joining us is Kelvin Anagbogu, widely known as Lord Lamba. He has captivated millions with his relatable skits that humorously expose everyday lies and societal quirks. With multiple accolades and the 2021 Nigeria Choice Awards for Best Content Creator, Lord Lamba's influence extends beyond laughs. Lord Lamba, known to me as Promise, has over 13 million followers across social media platforms. His skits have built a devoted fan base he affectionately calls the Lambarians. While much of his public persona centers around humor, this episode peels back the layers to reveal another side of the young man I have known all his life. In this episode, we dive into his creative process, the stories behind his viral skits, and how he uses humor to reflect and challenge societal norms. Get ready for an enlightening conversation that promises both wisdom and wit. Okay, let's get to it. Hi everyone, I am here today with the one and only Lord Lamba. But for the purposes of this call, I'm going to call you Promise. Is that all right?
You're permitted to call me Promise.
That is great. Okay. Um, I also understand, Lord Lamba / Promise, that this is your very first podcast. So I'm feeling pretty honored. So thank you for being here with me.
It's fine. You're welcome. Let me not bring out the pride in me.
Yeah,
It's
keep
fine.
that in check. Keep that in check. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. You've been doing amazing things in the past couple of years. I do want to start by asking about your name, Lord Lumber. Where does that come from?
It came from suffering.
Okay, do say more.
My momsy and I were trying to pick a name online, trying to see what could catching him. So it came across Lord Lamba. It was Lamba Lord, but I think that name was taken. So
Hmm. That's fair. So essentially, your mom helped you with the name. That's pretty cool.
yeah, she took
Yeah,
that name.
very
She
nice.
should be the one to copyright that name because she get it.
It's essentially, I mean, it's hers. Absolutely. I just want to dive right in and I want to start by asking you, what is the bravest thing you've ever done that no one knows about?
It's the bravest thing I've ever done.
Yes. I'm sure you've done a lot of brave things, but what is the
Surviving
bravest?
now.
Surviving. Tell me more.
Mm. Um, Once you know that there is no way out, you have to be brave. You need to survive. Mostly in a place where I come from, the country, you need to survive. You need to be brave. You need to think outside the box. You need to go down deep inside your brain and pick out. Even you can still go down inside that brain and pick out talent that is not yours and make it yours.
Do you feel like to this day you're still surviving? Or do you think you have survived?
I'm still surviving
Yeah?
because the day I feel like I've survived, there will be trouble though.
How so?
So I'm still surviving, but there's stages to that surviving.
I see.
Stages of food. We can see food and eat. Um, Moving around, we can see what can carry us and go and come back. Where to sleep, shelter, we can See that one?
So it's interesting when you talk about survival in terms of one, the basic needs, but also now in terms of how you grow and what you envision for yourself. So, with that, I do want to talk about vulnerability. Has vulnerability ever cost you something significant?
Yeah, like reacting in a way I'm not supposed to. Yeah.
Would you say you're a reactive person, Promise?
No, I'm not. But
Okay.
I think at some point in my life, I've reacted. I've reacted in a way I'm not supposed to react, and it's something I didn't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did it cost you?
Mm, it cost my peace, and I don't joke with my peace.
How did you get it back?
I got it back by remembering where I came from,
Hmm.
also understanding that the past does not mean you will not move forward. So I had to like leave the past and focus ahead.
Hmm.
And I'm good. I'm cool. And I feel like we are humans. We're not perfect. Some things will come break you down. And me, when I feel like that, I feel like there's a bigger picture that is
Hmm.
waiting.
So you're quite successful now.
Where you did here?
Sorry?
Where did you hear that I'm successful?
Well,
Which used to
well,
my
if
helper.
I,
Don't mind which one is I'm successful. Which kind of touch now?
I think it's okay to celebrate the success that we have at different points. I mean, digitally, currently, in terms of content creation, you're doing pretty big things, even just from like a Nigerian perspective. And from what I also understand, across all the social medias like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you have 10 plus, maybe 13 million followers, which I think is no easy feat. I think that is successful because to some degree, you have understood and you continue to curate content that your followers appreciate. So, given this frame, I do want to ask you, what is a personal failure that reshaped the way you see success? Or what is success? Like, what is success to you? Let's start there.
I think surviving push you into success. I would say the personal failure that got me into success. Getting to understand that nobody's coming to save you. You need to find your way there. Nobody's coming all man for himself. Then along the line, you know, God sends people to make it more easier for you.
I often imagine that having a public persona, as much as you bring people joy, you make people laugh, it also comes with some form of criticism, right? How do you navigate the people who just pick at you, the negative feedbacks or the comments? How do you deal with that?
Before, if I see those things, it weighs me down. I feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough or what. But I come to realize that it's it's the devil trying to steal your joy because how do you have 10,000 comments, 6,000 comments, and just four bad comments, and you want to feel down? What about the good comments? And let me even give you little expo. Inside that good comment, I still take out content and still create next. Or the bad comment, I combine it with the good comment and bring out another content. So when they criticize, I feel like it doesn't touch me anymore.
I guess you could also say like it fuels your creative process in a way, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. I really like that. I want to acknowledge that you've talked about God, you've talked about your faith. How does your belief in God support your process?
Okay. Right from time, I'm a strong believer, thanks to my mom. Have you ever been in a house whereby you're trying to sleep and you're hearing prayer?
Sounds like a lot of Nigerian homes.
Or you're sleeping. The next week is morning prayer. How did you start morning prayer by 4? you look your time, 4 o'clock. When that sleep, like I don't know the sweetness they put in 4 o'clock sleep till now come and wake you. You'll not be you'll not be praying or trying to do praise and worship and you're sleeping. Good morning, G. Come and tap you, G. So imagine how many years of my life doing all those things and getting to see where there is no way. Like some things are supposed to work, but just it will work. So ah, that made me understand that there's God actually. So I believe strongly enough, and I'm an example. My career, I never knew that I'm gonna get to this stage of my life. It started like a play, and yeah. So now I just feel like if I need anything, I just tell him.
When you were talking about kind of like the prayers, I remember, way back when we'd be back in Nigeria with my dad was a really strong believer and Christian. And we used to do these prayers at night when we are all super tired. And there was one time we started praying, and my older sister, she literally, like, we were standing up and she fell down. I guess she was asleep. She dozed off and kind of just like fell down. And my dad was so convinced she had fallen under anointing. He was like, "Oh, the Holy Spirit." And the rest of us are like, Ovi just kind of fell asleep.
That is a nice scoop. Oh.
He was so proud. He was like, the Holy Spirit has come over her. So that just kind of like took me back. That brought back also good, although funny, but good memories for me.
Yeah.
So earlier you talked about not being reactive, but you've been in a situation where you were reactive. So in moments like that where you're, everything is boiling, your head is just like, this is not happening. How do you calm yourself? How do you recenter yourself?
Yeah, I'm this kind of person that when those time comes, like I am vexed, I am angry. But one thing I thank God is I go into my head, think about it like 10 times, do a calculation if this thing is going to be positive, if this thing is going to affect me. And there are some times that probably it's done and it's already affecting me. I still go into my head and find a way not to react because I know one thing about reaction is it causes more, it lightens up the fire.
Mm, nice.
That's it.
I like that. So no need to pour kerosene on the fire, as they say.
For,
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Huh. I like that. So you've been doing this now for how long?
7 years.
Going on 7 years. Okay. So what is something you created that you no longer recognize in yourself?
Uh, my fans are still angry at me. Yeah. They are still angry at me that I no longer do Lamba. Like at the end of my videos, I just turn to the camera like, and a lot of people really loved me for that, but I don't do that anymore. I'm not saying I've outgrown the Lamba, but I feel like it brought me to some certain level and we take it up from there. So I'm very, very grateful for that niche. And I still have it. It's still there. But officially, I actually don't do it anymore.
But why? Can you speak more to that?
I feel I needed to dive into other things. The Lamba actually comes in when I play a certain role of a bad boy. Do you understand? So it's like stereotyping me. So I needed to lift myself out of that part so that I could be able to do other things.
Hmm. And now as well, you're in a position where you're also collaborating with some large organizations, big brands, and I guess you cannot be restricted to that one thing,
Exactly.
right? Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. Since you talked about being a bad boy, I think anyone who views your content online You know where I'm going with this one. Anyone who views your content online is going to typecast you because you know what I told you about this, right? It's like it's one girl or the other, or three girls or four girls you're trying to navigate all in one show. And that is the dominant impression of your content.
Yeah.
It is funny, it's hilarious, but how is that different from you?
Okay, well, Lamba is a brand, is a character. A lot of people might think I'm trying to teach them or teach their boyfriends how to be a bad boy. But that's not true. Come to think about it, these are things that happen. This is a content. As a girl, you watch my videos. What do you learn? I review all those things that if your bobo try to do, you will catch it. You will, if he's even doing it, you just be looking at him like this. I watch, I have a page where I see all these things. You get. Then for the guys, as I'm doing all these things, just know that you are not safe because I'm exposing things like this. It goes both ways, the girls, the guys. You can learn it. Why play the character as a guy to show these
Mm,
things?
mm.
So yeah, so they should see it as a venue to learn, to see when your partner is trying to be sneaky, is trying to have his way and get away with it. Okay, so it is not actually trying to be a bad boy. Yeah, so it's an avenue to actually teach. So all these girls that are thinking, I am spoiling my boyfriend, leave all this one. Learn the context. Like see, because they are adults. You cannot teach anybody anything. If they don't want to learn, they don't want to learn. And it goes both ways, though. Girls and boys, not just it's not only boys that are doing those things, girls too.
So essentially, you're saying that a lot of the skits that we see are inspired by real stories that you've heard of.
So it's inspired by a lot,
I
but
do like,
mostly real stories.
mm, I
It might
think,
not be exactly how it happened because as a
of course, you
content,
can make it more
you need to
dramatic.
yes, make it more
Yeah,
dramatic. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's interesting you share it like that because I've never thought about it from the perspective of what is this here to teach me, you know? And as you talk about it, I'm thinking, yeah, if someone was trying to play a fast one, regardless on which side, that someone is, you can then be like, hey, they no bomb me yesterday. And even if they did, I follow Lamba. So I know this.
There was one I did, I think yesterday. I drove for my girlfriend, and when she left, I looked and I called. My second girlfriend was coming to pick her. Then I was like, I was on my way. Then name, I removed the other name. So that one too is like a real story.
It's fascinating the lengths people go. It's I don't know if it's like if I should laugh or be terrified. That's a whole new level of like going lengths to hide the nonsense.
Exactly. You know, they said stolen water is sweet,
Mm,
which is not supposed to be. When you want to cheat, the stress is the one that makes it look sweet. Yeah,
mm,
you get. So they try. Now it's getting more advanced, and a
mm,
lot of people don't know. So I'm teaching, and I'll still be teaching, even if they feel like I'm spoiling. I'll still
mm.
be teaching. Like I was even we were talking about it. I've taught before. Yeah, I
Nice.
remember I was teaching kids in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Hmm? So you see now, hey, now I'm seeing where this teaching is coming from kids to adults. Oh,
I think though this is maybe the first time it's translating that you're trying to teach. I think I think if anyone just looks at what you put out, I don't think the first thing is like, ooh, Lamba is trying to teach me something here. I don't think that's what people take from that.
we
Yeah. I guess you
tell
have
you
to
we are
think
teaching.
about it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. We
Mhm.
don't tell you we are teaching you. We put it out as a code. So for you now, it's left for you to decode it.
Okay. I want to ask you about promise, before promise became Lord Lamba. So, promise 10 years ago. What would you say to him, given what you know now?
You see, that promise was the reason why there was Lamba. Because that promise had to fight, struggle. The promise then that did all the did a great job. trust me. And I will still look back and be like, no, that promise tried. Out of a lot of temptations and a lot of things, but chooses to like go through the right path. So I will give that promise an accolade. Yeah.
Probably a lot of thanks. A lot of thanks.
Trust me, a lot, because I know that during that time, a lot of temptations that would have not gotten me to this stage, but promise stood still.
And some hardships, because I also knew that promise. All right. What's one thing that people assume about your creative process that is completely wrong? Kind of like something anyone thinks about how you create, you know?
Do you know, I still get comments of when this one takes start and how intake get money.
Mm,
Ha! Do you know when we've been hustling, even when it comes to the content? Is it because probably when they go to my page, they don't see those things anymore?
mm,
It's wiped out. If
mm,
I decide to bring it back, do you know the hustle? I feel like the success just came one day, but that's not true. We've been fighting some hidden battles they don't even know about.
mm,
So
mm.
they feel like it just came from nowhere. I came or I'm from this wealthy family and boom, I got where I got to. But no, so those assumptions are wrong. I fought.
Mm.
There are some contents I created that failed. This Lamba self didn't just start. I did other content that was normal. It didn't work. Never gave up. Yeah.
You didn't give up, you just did a pivot.
I tried something. I was trying different things, different content.
Yeah.
And when I entered the one way, I did cheat.
That was the one that hits, right? That was the one that hooked people.
Yeah. When I was trying to teach.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that you produce, you direct, you basically do it all for a lot of your contents that you put out. Can you talk me through that process?
Yeah, I feel like in the field I am, you need to learn those things for it to be easy for you.
Mm,
Because learning those things does not mean you can employ other people to do the job. But you do those employments when probably you've gotten to some certain stage. But as an upcoming, you need to learn all those things. You need to learn how to shoot your videos. Even when you take your phone or you take your camera, you give it to somebody to hold it for you, you still need to know if the person is doing it right. Editing, you need to learn how to do those things. Because if you don't learn those things, you will struggle.
yeah.
So mostly I would say don't depend on people too much unless
Yeah.
God has blessed you with like some friends that have the same zeal and
Mm,
go.
mm,
But it's hard. Like for me, I learned how to shoot and
mm,
also edit.
mm.
So when everything started becoming okay, I had to bring other people in to come and do the work for me. Still, I still watch how they do it. Like
Mm.
if they don't do it well, sometimes when even I'm shooting, I'm directing the director. I know it's not a good thing to direct a director, but my movie, my something like will still pull me out because it's my money.
Of course. It's your
Yeah.
brand.
So yeah, exactly. So because I have ideas, something I've been doing, it's something I know how my audience love it.
I think it's quite remarkable. You know how to do everything. I think that it's the fundamentals of like running a business or being an entrepreneur from the beginning. You know, you're the receptionist, the janitor, you're the person who fixes everything. So that's the process. And I think there's something quite liberating about being able to do it and not be fully dependent on somebody else, especially in situations where you don't have the money or the resources to make sure people get things done when you need it done. So I think there's something quite important there that people who are, starting in their process, even beyond creation, people who are starting a business, they understand that sometimes in the beginning, a lot of times when you're bootstrapping, you really bootstrap. You have to do everything all at once by yourself, but there's a lot to learn from that as well. So quick question on your process, because since you do all of this and we see like 1 minute skits, maybe sometimes even 30-second skits, how long does the average, do you call it skits? I'm calling it a skit. Is that what you call it?
Yes,
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
Content. How long does the average content, we see 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, how long does it take you to shoot?
Sometimes 1 minute skit can take you like 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when it's a content that has to do with a lot of location. Some content you need to build a set. Some content you need to travel.
Thanks for sharing. I have a question. There was a time when there were a lot of things you have now that you didn't have at the time. So, is there something that you wanted really badly that no longer phases you the same? It doesn't shock you the same.
When the money was coming, I want to get this, want to buy this. It's shocking you, you're doing everything. And, I feel like right now doesn't freak me anymore. Even, not that I don't like money, I like money. But even if I have all the money in the world, I feel like it's not going to freak me. So I will still give the same reaction if I don't have or if I have. I love money. Oh. Money, money if you come, I will still shake body. Oh, but
I love it. What is this most ridiculous thing you spent money on? Or if you go back, you wouldn't do it the same?
it's cars. I love cars.
Cars are a problem for you. Yeah, cars. Yeah, fast cars, big cars.
Fast cars, and we don't even drive it that fast. The way they even program the car, I feel like seeing it and knows the capacity of what that car can do is a
Mm,
joy.
yeah, I love it. So, Promise, you are a young Nigerian man. What is a wish you have for young African men?
I feel like a lot of young men are carrying too much responsibilities at a young age. I mean, can testify to that. And I feel like the society sees men as people that no matter what it takes, you need to do it. It's a do or die. But now I feel like the solution I have in mind, there should be where men can talk to each other, communicate, pour it all out. And that is what women have that we don't
Hmm.
have.
Hmm.
You see a lady, she feels down. She pick up her phone. Hey, baby girl, I don't feel good. Can I come over? I'm like, what happened? Come, come, come. It's fine. Come. Okay, I'm coming. Okay. But you see, guys, you're feeling sad. Next thing, you're trying to drink. You're trying to go into depression. So you don't want to talk about it. So I feel like I know that um, some problem said can be a problem casted,
Hmm.
which men are scared of. You tell people how you feel and they laugh at you. But I feel like the men can do better. We should learn how to be a brother's keeper. We have this saying, be your brother's keeper, but we don't make use of it. There are a lot of men that are carrying loads they are not supposed to carry at a young age, but they just carry this load. So I think we should learn how to take that part of the women aspect, talking to themselves, use it. And I feel like it will solve some few problems because me, I know I have this friend I know that doesn't criticize me. I just call him talk, and him too. He calls me, and it has been helpful. Like if I call this guy, laugh, only his number or him talking. I've forgotten some problems first before we start even going, and we talk and we get solutions.
Hmm.
Yeah, and look at it, like actually it helps him too. Yeah, I feel like we should talk to ourselves more and men. When I know the cast your fellow guys.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. I love that for you, Promise. I love that you have somebody. And I do agree with you. I think, I mean, globally and also on the African continent and in Nigeria, I think there is, in general, a mental health crisis. People struggling and people do not necessarily have an outlet to exhale, to share. And I think based on the social construct, men are supposed to hold everything together. You're supposed to have everything together. It's even something as simple as, from, childhood when boys cries, like, why are you crying? Aren't you a man? As though they are not also supposed to have an outlet. And I think you're absolutely spot on. If something is going on in my life, there's somebody I can call and be like, hey, let's talk about this. And they will talk some sense into me, like
Yeah.
it's quite nice, I think, having community as women. And I think it's so important that men can also have spaces where they can be honest and vulnerable and funny and just be like, you know what, today everything sucks, and have other brothers lifting them. I think that's so important. Mm. I really like that promise. Love that insight.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you navigate spaces where you were both celebrated and misunderstood?
It's so surprising that you see the people that love you so much, bro. I love your content. And just one thing they see online that they don't actually like, instead of like them trying to like understand why or is this true or not, they come attacking you. You be like, are these not my people? There's no people that if I probably acquire something to be celebrated, they celebrate with me. But now, throwing stones, it's surprising. But whenever I see things like that, just leave am for God. We've left a lot of things for God, though. God don't carry a lot of things.
Mm.
So yeah, we just leave it. So it's just surprising how you get celebrated today. I just feel like it's the way humans are made.
Quick to celebrate you, quick to bring you down.
To bring it down exactly.
Yeah.
That is the nature of a human being.
Yeah. I guess I think as people, we could show more grace, especially in this day and time of like digital media and content creation, where you can see 15 seconds, 30 seconds production about anything, and you think you have a complete idea or the full picture, right? Of that experience, especially when it's something negative. Rather than people jump into conclusion and tear you down, I think it as people, it's quite important that we start showing some grace and just say,
Yeah.
okay, maybe we give them space to
Space, yeah.
explain or
Or to like go deep. If because I know that we putting out anything about us out there is like giving them the right to be in our life.
yeah,
So I feel like even with that right, they should still look into it because we still call them our family.
yeah,
They are the one that made us, them watching us and
yeah.
also like look to it and if what they are seeing is real or not.
Mm,
Because we are also human beings and depression is real.
yeah.
There are things we go through that if they go a little of it, they can't even take it. So
Mm,
they should do better.
mm.
Yeah.
I love that through it all, though, you're still acknowledging that though these people are also the people who got you where you are. And there's that humility about your process, which I appreciate. I do think that as much as you're a content creator, as you said, there's Lamba is something you've created and Promise is a different person. And I think that Promise deserve to also have privacy. So I think hold on to that. I think you've done a pretty good job separating your life from your you to have success doing so. Okay. If you could relive one moment, not change it, but just to feel it again, what would it be?
Yeah, like go back to those days where you were not recognized, where you could go to some mama put and eat and
Mama puts. I love
eat.
it.
Yeah, like those feelings then were sweet, but it's not something I'll pray to go back to because then I was broke. And I like it here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like here for you too, Promise.
How is it 1 million
Yeah.
times?
I love that. I like the realness. So it's like, yes, I'll go back to where no one knows me, but hey, I still want the money. So just quickly on your creative process, but particularly when you do not have inspiration, how do you get it? How do you find it? When you're creating content nonstop, you can't be a bottomless pit, right? So in moments when you feel a bit stuck, what do you do to refresh, to reset, to rest, to get it back?
People underrate cold water.
Mm.
Yeah. In the night, put your legs inside cold water. Do you know that our legs eh, are like one of the most important place? Like under of our feet can translate a lot of things.
Mm.
So you put your leg into inside cold water and you feel it. From there, it goes down to your brain. It relaxes your brain. It takes out all the worries.
Mm.
It goes into deep thinking when it comes to the content.
Mm.
Then you start searching, start opening books. searching for content. And yeah, that's worked for me. So
So, Promise, I think you alluded to it earlier, but being in public eye must come with some type of responsibility and having expectations that perhaps for us as followers and people who see your content and see how you move in the world, we don't really grasp the full weight of responsibility that you have. And earlier, you also talked about the importance of men to find spaces where they can talk to each other, support each other. So I do want to ask you, how is your mental health?
mm, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's good. It's excellent. It's just when you understand the metrics of the kind of job you do, you just need to accept it. If you compare that here is better than here and
Mm,
see what here comes with and see
mm,
what here comes with, it's good.
mm.
So my mental health is good. It's not that sometimes we don't feel, we have emotions, we're human beings. But yeah, it's good. And
Yeah.
we don't get something, we don't meet something that could damage the mental health.
So beyond the formula that you have and the understanding of the metrics, what keeps you grounded? What keeps you sane? What brings you back to earth?
The fact that my loved ones are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact they are happy. In fact, so far they feel good. And they're all right. Oh,
I love that.
yeah.
Love that for you. Mm.
Mm.
Promise, what is one question I should have asked you that I didn't?
First of all, the way they do it. Suppose don't ask me if I don't chop.
Ah, okay. Sorry. You don't.
It's already late. You don't do that medicine after death. So
I'll
see,
send you food. I'll send you food. Sorry, my mistake.
medicine after death. You can't do that now. But it's
Forgive,
fine. I forgive you.
forgive me. Food on me the next time I see you. Forgive me. I have a last question for you here. What brings you joy?
A lot of things brings me joy.
Mm.
But putting them into one, the fact I wake up every day to a new adventure of life gives me joy. The fact that out of billions of people on earth, God choose to put me in a place whereby I still have a reason to live
Mm,
gives me joy. So then there are other things that gives me joy too. Mostly this fact.
mm. Glad to hear it. No, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I think that is, something to be joyful about. That you get to be on adventure, you get to learn, you get to grow.
It's a good.
Um, how was this for you, Promise? Your
I
first
don't,
podcast and
I
all. How
don't
was it?
like I don't like podcasts. I don't like interview. You see, I'm a shy type. I'm not that I'm shy, but like I don't like to.
This
I like
brings out another part of you, not just the bad boy, not the Lamba, yeah?
exactly. So, boy, it feels good, and this
Yeah.
might be the last.
I hope have
We'll
to
try
share.
and see.
Yeah.
Try
We'll
and
see. We'll see.
see.
Yeah. I'd love to see you being interviewed on CNN and BBC and, like any big space anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's see how it
Why
goes.
not? Thank you so much for spending your time with me, for saying yes to me for your first podcast. And I really appreciate you sharing and giving all of us a different side of Lord Lamba. Yeah. And maybe showing us promise.
Promise. Nobody know me with this promise. So calm down with
I
this promise you're calling me. Ah,
I know he has promised now. What am I supposed to do? Like I've tried with the Lamba, but every now and then the promise slips in. But okay, Lord Lamba, thank you for your time.
this
I
Lord Lamba
appreciate.
doesn't it sound weird? Lord Lamba, I come with the promise to continue.
I know, I know. Okay, promise. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. You know now anything for you. Now you feel carry me come here now. You don't
Thank
use your power. You flex your power. This is what you're talking
I
about. You
don't
see,
flex.
you don't flex your power. No, 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 no. Power when you just get, you just flex that. You know, good. Don't they flex your power?
But I think the fact that there was a time in your life when I changed your diapers and I washed your poo. Like it's not the cool diapers, promise. It's the cloth one that you've used pin on the side, and then you have to like take it off and wash it in water. I used to touch your poo, babe.
How
So
much? How much I go pay you? May you erase this thing for your head. Erase how much? Come on,
never,
talk.
never. So no matter how cool you become, I always have that to bring you back to
No,
earth.
I got to erase
Like
it. Erase.
I held you when you were like that tiny, yeah, like you were a tiny baby. I changed your diaper. I took care of you. So I mean, I take a little bit of credit to kind of like you're here somehow because at some point or the other, Chisom also kind of she wiped your bum.
Don't worry. I need to pay you for this so that
No,
you will sign. If
never,
I hear this anywhere again,
never.
you will hear from my lawyer.
I'll see if I can cut it out, but no promises. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. Anyways, I want to say thank you for your time. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for being here.
Love you too. All right. Take care.
Thank you for spending time with us on Overnight Wisdom. If this conversation moved you, inspired you, or made you pause, please leave a comment, or share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can follow the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're feeling generous, a rating or review goes a long way in helping others find us too. Until next time, stay curious, stay tender, and may the wisdom you need find you exactly when you're ready.